Hi, and welcome to week 2, Understanding Old Testament Narrative, part 1. Now, our goals this week are to apply the interpretive methods in the evaluation of a narrative text. A narrative is the largest genre of the Old Testament, and it is really important for us, therefore, to be able to interpret and understand how genre is put together and what we might learn from the genre of narrative. Develop a personal interpretive methodology for analyzing biblical narrative and to evaluate the tension between divine inspiration and classic narrative storytelling. Now, this week we have a lot of work to do, and you've got a couple of fairly long and detailed assignments. So I encourage you to get an early start on the week and stay focused so that you're not rushed on Saturday, Sunday, and Monday getting things wrapped up. Our first is to do a word study, to understand Hebrew, which many, if not all, of you have not had Hebrew. We still are accountable for the ability to look up key words to understand their range of meaning and how they're used in different translations. So assignment 2.1, you're going to look up the word that is translated in the ESV as kindness. I believe in the NIV, or at least in the American Standard, it's translated loving kindness. And I feel it's one of the most important Hebrew words as it relates to God's character and action throughout the Old Testament. So you're going to do a full word study of this word to understand its breadth and depth of meaning. So after reading the Word Study Resource Guide, which is a very long and complex document, so you're going to need to spend a little bit of time reviewing it and perhaps re-reviewing it. So after reading it on how to do a word study and listening to the online concordances at Bible Study, after using the online concordances, Bible study tools, and at Bible Hub. And I also have included a brief video lecture on how to complete a word study. So after you have reviewed how to do a word study, I want you to look up all the instances of the Hebrew word hesed in the Bible, translated kindness in the ESV. The word is identified as a Strong's number. Now, Strong is a scholar who has assigned a unique number to every Hebrew and Greek word in the Bible, and the Strong's number for this word is 2617. So when you look up Hesed in Strong's, you're looking up word 2617, and there is a link on your assignment to give you a head start in finding the word. So after you've looked it up, I want you to complete the provided worksheet analyzing a minimum of 30 of the 247 occurrences of the word in the Old Testament. Be sure to include an in-depth analysis of all occurrences of the root word found in the Pentateuch. Then follow the resource guide and evaluate the word as it is used in the balance of the Old Testament with an emphasis on its use in Genesis 24:27. After you've done your worksheet analysis, I want you to complete a 2-page paper at the end of the worksheet explaining the range of meaning for the word and its most likely intended meaning in Genesis 24:27. In addition, I want you to spend a few paragraphs really trying to understand how the word is understood as an attribute of God's character. Then we have assignment 2.2. It's an essay, and after completing the reading incline, write a 2 to 3 page paper summarizing the proper way to conduct a contextual study of a passage. Be sure to include a discussion of the historical cultural context and include a conclusion reflecting upon the importance of understanding the context of a passage in your hermeneutical methodology. Now, to be able to do this, I also want to see your engagement on not only with Klein, but with other outside academic resources as well. Finally, we have a discussion on the authority of Scripture. And I want you to research and write a post on, in your opinion, does the biblical author's use of narrative components like plot, character development, and dialogue diminish the authority of Scripture? And one of the things I want you to interact with is many argue that the biblical author is oftentimes not recalling an exact dialogue, but is crafting a dialogue along with his inspiration in order to convey a message. So if, in fact, the biblical author is not using word-for-word dialogue, but crafting a narrative in order to convey God's intended meaning, does that change the way we look at Scripture? Or does narrative have to be 100% factual in every way? So discuss, you can look at the authority of Scripture, you can look at the use of plot, character development, and dialogue, but I'm really trying to have you research and discuss what does authority of Scripture mean. After finishing your post, provide a response to at least 2 other posts, and we've talked about the fact that 2 comments is a B-, and I'm looking truly for A-level work that has ongoing engagement and discussion. Now, in order to dive into deeper discussion, you need to not just talk about what you liked about someone's post, but try to find a way to ask a question. Ask something so they can go back and look at your comment and their post and engage deeper into what they might have meant or how you both might come together to a new understanding of the question. So consider what factors or angles they might have missed and what you might add to their discussion. After considering these questions, answer the following. How was their perspective helpful, keen, or correct? And do you agree or disagree? And if you disagree in any way, how can you have an ongoing discussion? As always, first posts are due on Friday at midnight Central Standard Time, with final posts and comments Monday at midnight Central Standard Time. Thanks again for all your work. I look forward to seeing what you come up with on the word study and on your paper and in your discussion post. And I look forward to being involved, excuse me, in discussions this weekend. Have a great day.